What's going on, guys? So I know it's been a while since I made a video, but I recently got a chance to see Vince Vaughn's newest film, Delivery Man, which comes out next month, but I got past to see it early. And it's a weird circumstance because this is a movie that is a remake of a film called Starbuck, and that movie actually released in March of this year. And here it is only a few months later, the remake's getting released in theaters, and you're like, Jesus, this had to be rushed, its quality can't be that good. And what kind of story was it that made them go, ooh, we have to remake this movie and get it out immediately? And so it stars Vince Vaughn, and he kind of plays an underachieving, single, commitment phobia adult, and he kind of plays similar roles like this in all of his movies. But I mean, he's comfortable with it, and for the most part, I enjoy his type of roles in these type of movies. And it stars, not stars, god damn it. What's going on, guys? So I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I recently got a chance to see Vince Vaughn's newest film, Delivery Man, which I think comes out November 20th, but I got a chance to see it early. And it's a weird movie because it's a remake of a Canadian film called Starbuck, and that movie came out in the United States in March of this year, so here it is only a few months later, and the remake's already getting pushed upon us. And you gotta think, like, this had to be rushed, its quality can't be that good, and the concept must be amazing for them to just rush this thing into production and get it out as quickly as possible. I remember reading about the remake and kind of just blowing it off. But since I got a chance to see it for free early, I was like, what the hell? And it stars Vince Vaughn playing like an underachieving, commitment phobia male, and he kind of plays similar roles like this. And he's with his girlfriend, and she's kind of concerned about where their future is headed and where his stance is in the relationship, so she's kind of on the edge of breaking up with him. And he comes to find out that the sperm he donated when he was a younger male was actually used in the clinic, and it was so fertile that they just kept using the sperm he donated instead of everyone else's, and so he ended up fathering 533 children. And that seems like an absurd number, and it really is just a huge number that should have been knocked down a bit. But they kind of knock it down by changing it to 127 of them instead of all of them, but 127 of them actually want to find out who their biological father is and meet them and know where they came from. And the clinic has privacy things in the contract, so they end up taking them to court to try to find out who their father is. And that's the kind of in the background of this movie going on, because Vince Vaughn does not want to reveal his identity, nor does his girlfriend think that whoever this guy is a good guy. Because what happens is once they bring it to court, the media gets a hold of it and just spins it and makes this such a glorified case. I mean, I would too if it happened in real life. I mean, 533 children is an insane number. And she kind of finds this character Starbuck, who they nickname Despicable, so that kind of plays on him not wanting to reveal his identity as well. But when they get brought to court about this, he gets a packet of revealing the information about all the children he's fathered. And this is where I feel like the film really excelled at, and that's because he kind of goes through them and ends up meeting them and spending a little bit of time with them without ever telling them he's father. And he helps them just as a normal person and kind of provides the father that they were kind of missing without them ever kind of realizing it. And by doing so, he kind of changes his stance on life and actually wants to start a family and wants to do stuff, and he learns a life lesson, quote unquote, in this movie. And it's typical, and you've seen it coming, but when you handle it this well, it makes you feel good about the character and yourself when you're watching the film. But the problem with this is its scale is just too big. I mean, 127 children, you don't have enough time to even develop 10% of that many characters. So he only goes through like 7 or 8 of them, but you're supposed to get this idea that he went through all of them and met every single character, and it's just, I can't really buy into it. And so when there's scenes when there's a whole bunch of kids together and you don't even know who they are, I don't know how you I don't know how you expect me to accept them, and it's just an unneeded scenario where if you just cut it down a bit, maybe it would have felt better and better paced. But outside of that, it also tries to be a really laugh out loud comedy at times, which works, and then other times they just don't hit enough. And then other times, though, it makes you want to feel heartwarming and completely serious about the picture, which is fine, but when you have these laugh out loud moments stuck in between them that miss, it just doesn't gel well and doesn't flow well, so you kind of are a little weird about it because it just doesn't have any rhythm or flow to it. But I will say I laughed quite a bit, and I enjoyed quite a bit of the scenes involving him and his kids, quote unquote. I don't know why I say quote unquote, but they're nice, heartwarming moments. And it's a nice, heartwarming film, but it just ultimately is forgettable because it just doesn't have enough time to make that giant impact that the film has going for it. And like I said, with a smaller scale, it could have actually been a very good movie. Instead, it's just a forgettable one that I enjoyed while watching it. I mean, it's a type of movie that if you go and see it, you won't regret it, but I don't think it's a film necessarily you have to go out of your way to see. And for that, I'm going to give Delivery Man a 6.5 out of 10, and maybe recommend a rental on it when it comes out. But if you like my review, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below and tell me what you expect out of this movie after you see the trailer. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.